Hi, I wanted to do a video on going into a shop and expectation, because it was something I was paying attention to and thinking about the other day. So I went into a shop and I did my zombie mode. So when I was served by the lady behind the till, I did, as it was in Subway, and we had communication, you know, um, like the normal asking for what I wanted, which Subway is probably a meltdown waiting to happen for an autistic with the amount of choices. I used to have panic attacks. I avoided it for a while until it was quiet and I learned what was there and what to do. It was panic attacks and all those choices. Um, But I don't want to talk about the communication style because I told her what I needed and everything, but I kept it to that, and I didn't have any friendly conversation or anything like that. But I wasn't rude either. But the whole interaction then was quite easy in one sense, and I do notice, say, like I, for quite a few anyway. I noticed neurotypical interaction when you're working behind there. It can be a couple of different types of interaction that you have. I think a comfortable one, though, I find often for some neurotypical is where you don't get involved much personally, and for some autistics, we seem to need to put in more emotion and connection and observation and everything like that. And I think this can make neurotypicals feel uncomfortable some because they want to. And I respected that the other day, actually, to be honest with you. I know it's not everybody. Um, I just wanted to talk about the fact that I respected her need to remain separate from me. And I was thinking about the fact that this is her working day, and she didn't wouldn't have meant anything by it, but I could see she wanted to just do her job, which she's got to do, and she might have had another 5 hours ahead of her. And the interaction needed to remain unfamiliar and distant. And in my past, when I used to think about some things, because I always wanted to make a connection with nearly everybody I spoke to, and then people I didn't make that connection with, I felt rejected by, and why aren't they like me? Because I would go bouncing in wanting connection, and I was very aware of their reactions and everything, and it was exhausting actually. All that was doing that. So that interaction, I realised with some people, I will kind of like it's really good to not take it personally, because I used to get upset. I used to have, and I would ruminate after connections with somebody in the shop, which to some people who haven't been through anything, haven't had PTSD, aren't autistic or neurodivergent, I think they call it these days, then something like that, they wouldn't understand that how he could be like that. How that interaction to us was quite important. Well, to them, it was just another part of the day and something that they need to kind of get through and done and do their job properly. So, um, and I can see that now, you know. But what I do find is that I can judge sometimes if somebody is more open to interaction, because there's a lady I see at my local shop who I have talked to now maybe for 10 years, and I know that she's the same as me, and I know quite a lot about her, and she knows a lot about me, and I know that she is open to conversation, although sometimes she is quite quiet and doesn't want to, so then I leave her to that, and it's nothing about me, I know that it's to do with whatever she's going through at the time. So but but it can be a difficult one to judge and monitor, particularly if we are more isolated and then we don't have many conversations with people, and those people who are at the front line in a shop are probably the only people we see every week or even have a little conversation with. So if it's at all possible, say like if you go to a bigger shop and there's lots of people on the tills, if there's a person that you can connect with, I would try and connect with them if that's the person you want to talk to. I wouldn't, if there's somebody who's time and time again not connected with you, doesn't want to connect with you, isn't like that, like the lady today in Subway. She wasn't unpleasant, it's just that she didn't want, she just didn't have that sort of air about her that she wanted connection. I would leave those people to that, and then the people who, because some people, isn't it, it only takes a couple of words and suddenly, boom, you're connected and it works. So I'm not rude to the people who I don't connect with, but I don't really bother with them either, because it's an empty, it's somewhat, not in a nasty way. If they started chatting to me, I'd start chatting back to them. But it's sort of an empty connection then, and if you're trying to force it, it ends up being upsetting if they don't. Because what we like to do is give, and you sort of have the same back of them in a way. And when we don't get that back, sometimes we can get upset by that because it doesn't reflect back, and we wonder why, you know. So I would just want to talk about how, if you want to protect your extra sensories and your rejection fears and your you as a person, so you don't want to go home and ruminate over them, because I know I would for ages and ages. I'd ruminate over them, and when you haven't got a lot of people in your life and you haven't got those connections all the time, this will become an important thing for you, which is fair enough, it would be, because if you've got nothing else going on, then this will be. But to protect yourself from it, if you can sort of stay to that sort, if somebody doesn't want to connect, if you can stay to that to protect yourself, then that was just my advice that I was thinking about. Okay, bye.